Assalamu alaikum. Yes. This thing is agitating my mind for a long time, you see. It is during 1964 when I was in Nigeria. I'm still in Nigeria anyhow. So there was one gentleman who was non-Ahmadi, and I was also non-Ahmadi.
I know that, yes, at that time.
So we were working in one office. And then there was another gentleman who was a Christian, and some Tablighi Jamaat came, and I had a great respect for them at that time. So we started talking about it. That gentleman was...
This Tablighi Jamaat people were from Pakistan, or?
Oh yes, sir.
They had come from Pakistan.
A group of about 8-9 people.
Correct.
Well, they were doing so many nice things themselves. I respect in that respect, because they never tried to take any food from any place. They were living in the mosque. They were doing, but their impact was temporary. Once they leave, the thing goes away. So at that time they talk in old language, and the people were all coming around them. But once they leave, the thing is forgotten. Anyhow, the gentleman had married with a German wife. So he was very much outspoken, talking so much against Islam, or sometimes he was a little bit liberal, you can see. So the Christian was there. He said, look, these people are coming and just professing Islam in one way or the other, while they are not correcting themselves. Now, then he spoke to me, the Muslim one, non-Ahmadi one. His name
just a
was...
minute.
So he
I
said
got a bit confused.
Yes, sir.
Please kindly...
There were two gentlemen. One was non-Ahmadi and the other was Christian.
I thought there were so many.
No, sir.
You said a few.
No, because that Tablighi Jamaat people came into discussion only at that time.
I see.
So because I was associated with
now
them,
there were three people.
and we were just sitting three people in the same office, we were employed in the same
and
office.
one was a Christian and one was a Muslim.
That Muslim.
And who had married a German?
That Muslim one.
That Muslim one had.
That's right.
And he was speaking against...
He was speaking, he said that... Look,
was he speaking against Christianity?
Yes, against the Tablighi Jamaat.
Against Tablighi Jamaat?
Yes, he said that look, these gentlemen are wasting their money. They are not correcting themselves. They are just coming here and unnecessarily, you see, they should correct themselves first. He quoted a verse. He said that look, وَلَمَنْ خَافَ مَقَامَ رَبِّهِ جَنَّةً. Anybody who fears from God, he has two types of Jannah. Is that so? So these Christians and these advanced country people are much better in performing their hukukul ibad. They are good people by that one. But they just come and they say that perform hukuk Allah. What does it mean? First you correct yourself, and all Muslims at this time throughout the world at large, not specifically few people. Then you see they are maybe alright, hukuk Allah and hukukul ibad. But most of them are only talking of hukuk Allah. They don't do it hukukul ibad. If you will go to other countries who are Christian, who are non-Muslims, they perform better hukukul Allah. I had also an instance. I got a check from somebody here. Once I got the money, then I just wrote my address that I am living here. It is about 7 years back, here in this London. So the lady gave me £1 less. That £1 was sent back to my house, and to say that look, I'm very sorry that we have given you wrong money. Then I counted that £1 was less. So this is the best thing of this, and this will give you better profession. So this is what I say, that now whether hukukul ibad are important.
Since 1964,
yes, this is agitating my mind. And I personally say, sir, that It got disbanded
Now,
in 1978, as you know. But still, I did not change too much change in Haqiqul Ibad amongst
sit down.
ourselves.
Just a minute.
That's right.
Sit down.
Yes,
Your question has to be straightened up first,
that's right.
and put in the right order before we can proceed to tackle it. The question as it appears to me is this: number one, that Haququllah are all right. You're not against Haququllah, are you? You don't mean to say?
No. I say that Haququllah is accepted.
Okay. But we should first start with Haququl Ibad. Is that right?
This is what.
Is it? So this is exactly what Islam tells you.
But this thing is not that.
Just a minute. If it's not practiced, whose fault it is? Islam's or the people's? So
this
blame people and not Islam. The Islam that I know teaches you Haququl Ibad to a degree that you cannot become God-fearing, truly God-fearing, unless you have started to pay the human beings their dues. Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam has expressed this in so many ways and repeatedly. Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam tells us at one place, "Man lam yashkurin nasa, lam yashkurillaha." Whoever is ungrateful to the people is also ungrateful to Allah. At another place he tells us that who does not show pity to human beings, he will not be shown pity by Allah. So in either direction, it is very important. But to say first you should, this objection is wrong because the manner of this objection is wrong. Because when somebody speaks to you about the Haququllah or the rights of Allah, this answer is wrong. That you should first start doing this. Because they both interplay in fact. Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam has equated them most beautifully. In fact, what he means to say is that they both interplay upon each other. A truly God-fearing person would pay his dues to the people. And a person who pays his dues to the people has come a step closer to his God because he knows how to pay his dues and discharge his obligations. So this is why Hazrat Masih Maud ﷺ has spoken at length the process of upbringing of Hazrat sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, first of all, he turned the beastly people into human beings, then human beings into moral beings, then moral beings into godly beings. And you cannot be a truly godly being without not only a human being but a moral being. So this process is correct, there is no doubt. But right from the start, Haququllah are also being discharged simultaneously. There is no waiting. When we talk of that first, that takes place in a different manner. You don't start first with the Haququl Ibad and wait for a few years and then start talking of Haququllah. This first is a manner of not preference but a manner of order. That is to say that simultaneously both processes are taking shape in every human being, and his upbringing and his cultivation. If a man begins to move towards God, even if he takes a single step, in that single step too, there would also be a step of that nature in the direction of humanity. For everything. Because what is traveling towards God? What is paying dues to dues of God? The essence of this worship is that ultimately you acquire the attributes of Allah. And because the attributes of Allah are a source of beneficence to His people, His creation, so it is impossible for you to acquire an attribute of Allah without showing it to your human beings, to your fellow beings. So if you truly analyze the process, although we speak of first and second, but it is not in terms of months and years, it is in the terms of split-second decisions. If you really want to truly move towards Allah, you have to rectify yourself, your inner being, your attitude. And when that attitude is rectified, then at the same moment, you begin to behave correctly to your human friends or fellow beings, also to Allah. So that is taqwa. When people begin to talk against such people, in fact, they misunderstand the whole process. And what they do is, they just want to retaliate against a sort of piety which they know they are missing. So to show their superiority, they always begin to talk in this sense. Those people who came from Pakistan, even if they were wrong in their in views, they had some good points. At least they said their prayers in time. If they were arrogant about it, that was wrong. I mean, Allah would then not reward them. But the fact of prayer was good. For a man who was not saying prayer, to start criticizing them just because they were saying praying, that was wrong. The correct, honest attitude for such a person should have been that in paying their dues and respects to Allah, they are good. But if they are not at the same time paying their respects and dues to humanity, then whatever dues they are paying to Allah are hollow, because they cannot live without the other. A shadow is automatically cast. So that inference, if it had been drawn by that gentleman, that would have been correct. But mostly I know the attitude of such people. They feel at a disadvantage in one sphere. And to offset that disadvantage, they begin to pull the legs of those people and bring them down and put them below underneath. And say, our sphere is superior, so although apparently they are pious, but truly we are worthier people and more respectable than they are. So this attitude is wrong. Now I think ultimately we have reached the goal of prayer, without any gaps. Thank you for filling that gap, which helped us, that in fact invited other questions as well. Thank you. Now somebody should say the adhan, please.